for now it is downloading actually. So we are within this main XML now, and we have to work on it for the design of the main XML. We just have to include that app bar layout within this main screen layout, so that layout can be considered as a child layout for this. We will just use that, but before that we need to add something here, like we have advanced draw layout we are using. So navigation drawer you know, but here we are using the custom advanced draw layout for drawer. So giving some properties for that, such as ID, so that its items can be made clickable. Okay, and other things like open drawer, make it like a start, and then the background and all these things we have to add. Okay, now the background is chosen as the teal color actually. Okay, now what we have to do, we have given the properties for this advanced draw layout, like this one, first system, just to make it true, and then we have to make the child layouts here. Okay, so I already told you that thing. We just need to include that app bar layout that we have made earlier. Okay, just we need to add these lines so that the layout can be added within this main screen. It's just simple. Here you can see in the right side of your screen, like that layout that we created before, it is appearing here. Okay, now we need to add the more property. Okay, such as for the navigation, we need to add the navigation view also. So we are adding that here, and I have to provide the ID for this navigation view. So I'm giving the ID as nav_views. Okay, then few more properties for this, and these are like app menu, and we haven't created the app menu items yet, so we have to create that so that it can be not errorable here as it's showing the red line. Okay, so adding the background, and let me see what else can we add it. Okay, the elevation, so adding the elevation of 1 dp, you can add up to your choice. Okay, then item icon padding, adding that also, and then we have that item icon tint, so like in which color you want your icon to be appear. So for that we are adding this here. Okay, then we have the item text color. If you want to show the text also along with the icon, then the color for that particular icon text is also changeable and maintainable. Now the header layout, like nav header main, we need to work on this also, like how will the header look. Okay, so we need to create this menu items first, and for that we need to create the menu. So let's check that, and then we're gonna work over that. Okay, click on the project, and after going to the project, right click on res, that is resources, go to new, then Android resource directory, and then you have to choose menu, click OK. It is created, and now you right click here on the menu, and then menu resource file. Here you have to give the name, as we have given the name as menu items. And one more thing we need, actually we are using two things. The first one is this navigation drawer that appears at the top, leftmost top, and the second one is that smooth bottom bar, that is bottom navigation. So we need to create two menus. Okay, so we have created these two menus here, and now you can see that it is not showing error and everything is okay, correct, no issues. Again we need to come within this menu items and we need to add this. So how I gonna add that? Let's check that. We need to add group here. So it's like group, and within the group we need to add items. Okay, so making the group Android checkable behavior is single. Then we have item, and getting the ID is for that particular item. Home, then we have this icon, so we are taking the icon from the drawable. Okay, then we have icon tint, and it's like the icon color kind of thing, you can see it, so making it white. Again we have the Android title. Okay, so what title you want to give is just like that, so giving it as home here. Again one group is closed, and now we are giving another items. Okay, so another item is like remedy. So how we can prevent the plants from diseases? So this activity or the screen will show few points regarding that. Okay, and giving the properties for this also. So few more things like all these properties, and then we need to add the third one. Third one is about, like you can add, like I have created this application, or our group is created that application for this purpose and that purpose. You can add that information here. Okay, no issues, and this is almost done. We have added the text as well as the icon, and then we have maintainable that thing, color, and all these things. Okay, it is done. Now let's see what else is left out. I'm just scrolling it. If you have messed up, then you can click on pause button. The code is okay, and now we have to move to another file after this one. So this is app bar main XML, which is included within that main activity. Now we're gonna click on project, and after clicking on the project, let's see on which file we need to work. Like new menu is left out for now, you can see, and there are various, like one or two screens are left out to be worked on. Okay, so we're gonna work on this Nav Header main. As you have used various applications in which the navigation view, you have to show some navigation header. So here we're gonna add that also. Okay, so first of all, let me change this constraint layout first of all, and then this layout is replaced by the linear layout. Okay, so added the linear layout instead of that constraint layout, and then we need to add few properties for this linear layout, and those properties can be like background and all these things. So you have to add that, like taking the background as teal color, and then gravity is chosen as bottom, orientation is taken as vertical, and then the padding is 16 dp. Okay, so almost done. Let me check what it's causing. I think the height is good, but the gravity is not good. Yeah, now it is good. We need to use only gravity, and then we have this image view. Within the image view, we need to add properties here. Well, the property for any view is a necessary thing, like the click action is dependable on that, and various things like how the view looks like. All these things depend on this, and we need to choose it very wisely. So now the image view, and we need to add a circular or whatever kind of image that we can do here. We have to add it, and then again let me see these options. Okay, appears. Okay, I have changed the image. Actually, I have used one icon, and that you can find on Google Images when I am showing you the demo, or you can use the image of your choice. I have just added the image of the background. Actually, that's why it is looking odd, but it's not a thing to worry. Now we need to go to this activity called remedy, and after this, let's first of all remove this constraint layout, and instead of this constraint layout, what we gonna add is that coordinator layout. So I've added the coordinator layout, and now after adding it, the properties for this coordinator layout is almost done, but we need to add the views, the child views for this. Okay, so adding a card view here, and the card view width is chosen as match parent, and then we have this background, and background for the card view that we have taken up within the resource files, and make sure that you have downloaded that resource file. I have provided the link of these files within the video description. Okay, so when will you click on that link, then you will be able to download a zip file. Then you just have to extract that zip file, and then you will be able to see the content of that file. Okay, now making a linear layout here inside the card view, and giving properties for that linear layout such as width and height as match parent and background. So now the background color is chosen from the hex color code. Orientation is vertical. Okay, and then this layout is closed. Again, within this linear layout, we need to add views here. So have to add views. Like what can be added within this linear layout? Let's see, like scroll view. Now the properties for this scroll view, such as width and height, again we have to take up the margin from the bottom as 66 dp, and within this scroll view we need to, okay, so let's not take that scroll view. Let's try to do the work with linear layout, and if there is a need of the scroll view, then we're gonna use that. Okay, so for now we are restricting the scroll view here and using the linear layout only. Okay, so within the linear layout, make sure its orientation is vertical, and then we're gonna take up the card view here with take up as gravity in center. Again, we have to take few more properties for this card view, and those properties such as margin. So margin is taken as 28 dp, and within this card view we need to add more views, such as we can add the linear layout or the text view within that inside a linear layout. Okay, so linear layout with width and height as match and wrap. Then we have the gravity, and taken up the gravity as center and margin as 28 dp. Okay, then the orientation is taken up vertical for this linear layout also. And now what we gonna take up within this is a text view actually, but that text view has to be included within one more linear layout sheet. So here you can see this is the nesting of views that we are using here, and then the gravity is taken up as left. Okay, then we have the text view with width and height as taken up as wrap content, and the gravity is center. Okay, then we have the text is like, you can add the text according to yourself also, like what measures can you take while like to prevent the plant from diseases. So I'm adding it based on my knowledge, or you can add up using your knowledge. Now adding the text color. So the text color can be taken up as black, and then we have to add properties such as textile, and textile is taken up as bold. Okay, now what else we can do here is to remove this extra space, and then let me see why it is causing an error. Okay, either we haven't closed something, that's why it is showing one error. I think we have forgotten to add the closer for that card view, so we need to find it and then we need to do it. Okay, so let me remove the extra space so that we can see the closure of the views clearly, and then debug this problem. Okay, so I'm just doing it. Here you can see that. Now what else can be done? Let's see, like we have this card view and one card view is already closed. Okay, let me see, we have linear layout is closed and text view is self closed. Okay, so the outer card view problem, yeah, I was correct regarding this. So let's try to close the card view. Now you can see that the error is removed. Also the text comes on your screen, like in the right side of your screen you can see within that mobile view. Now you can see and check that. Okay, no issues. So now we need to add a linear layout here for adding those steps for the common prevention from the diseases in the plant. Okay, so making the gravity as center and the orientation is taken up as horizontal. Again we need just to add the text view here, and within the text view we just add the text of our choice, and you can choose or you can search on Google regarding this, and then you can add the appropriate text that you think that it is more suitable for the common prevention steps. So adding this, like keep soil under the plant and all these things, like make sure you are watering the plants and all these steps that you can use, and for the make sure you are going organic in an organic way, like we don't have to use the chemical fertilizers. We need to use the organic fertilizer and all these things that you can add it's up to you actually. It's just a screen and the steps we need to add. We don't need to add the Kotlin code or the programming code for this screen. Okay, so for now let me check, like don't inject for the fruits and plants. Almost done this text view, and I think we need to add few properties because the text is very small, also the styling is poor, so we had to improve it, like make it bold so that it can be visible on the screen. Okay, now let me remove this, and then let's see how it can be removed from here. So I'm removing it. Okay, finally it is removed, and this XML file is ready to go. It is completed and there is no issues regarding this. Okay, so for now we have to go to one more XML, that is, I think the about section is also left out, so we need to complete that section too. So for that we need to go there. Before that we need to add the menu items also for this, like we have two menus, so one we have added already and the other one is left out, so we need to add that thing also. Again, this work up to this thing is a screen work, the XML code. We haven't reached towards that programming code yet, but we will be moving towards it and will make sure that this project runs well. I have shown you the demo in the starting of the video, and I'll give you the final demo or the full demo in the end of the video with these screens and all these things that we are using. Okay, so now we are within this about section and we have this constraint layout here, and there is no child view within this constraint layout, so we need to work over it. Okay, so why we are adding this about and all these things? So about for any application or a project, when you are making a project or when you are taking the courtesy from your application, then this screen is very crucial, where you provide the information regarding the developer or the app itself. So that's why it is a crucial part. And now I'm adding the coordinator layout here instead of that constraint layout, so that is removed. And now we need to add few more properties, and these properties are such as background. So taking care of the background with the hex code. So hex code is there, so it should be like this one, and you can get more information regarding the hex code, the RGB system, regarding the coloring or the color palettes that will make your UI UX best in practice. And then we have added this linear layout here. So within this linear layout, what we gonna do here, we have to add the child view, and that child view will be the constraint layout. Okay, so the coordinator layout, and the coordinator layout contains that linear layout, and then this linear layout contains the constraint layout for now. Okay, so giving the width and height for this, so height and width is giving us around 200 dp, making 10 difference. And then we have this gravity, so layout gravity, making the gravity as center. Okay, then we need to add the image view and the text view. Like you can add up your image here, or you can add the project image, and then you can add the text. So I need to add this, like making the width and height for this appropriate so that it looks good, like this, around 200 dp. And then we have this card background color, and here we are also using the hex color only, no issue. And then we have this card corner radius, and that is taken up as 30 dp. And then we have the elevation for this, and the elevation is taken up as 20 dp. Okay, let me add the properties related to the constraint layout. Whenever we are using the constraint layout, then we must use these properties so that our view can be placed at the desirable place. Okay, and now this one to end off, making it to parent and parent. Okay, then we need to add start to start off, like again top to top of parent. Okay, so this card view is almost completed, and within this card view we're gonna add the image view and the text view. Okay, so I think the card view is added to as a parent for many views, such that it provide various facilities such as the corner, the round corners, and then we have the elevation, the shadow effect. That's why we prefer this card view. Okay, we are adding the image view as a child view for this card view. So adding this here and making the width and height as 195 and 125 dp, and then I'm adding the source as IC launcher. Here you can add the source of your picture, like you can take up the picture of from your computer, then copy it to the resource folder, then you can use this within the line number 36. Okay, so I've used the IC launcher picture. It is not looking good, but as a sample or demo I'm showing it to you. Now the text view, so the gravity is taken up as center. I'm adding the text as techno learning. You can add your name or group name or anything else that you want to add here. You can add it. Okay, another thing that we can use, like we have to take up this text just below this image, so we have to do that thing also. I'm doing this, and let me see. Okay, no issues. And then the text color. Okay, so the text color is taken up as white, and now the text size, and it is, we are taking some margin, let me see whether this margin works or not. It is working. Okay, no issues. Okay, it's look good. Again, we have to take up the margin from the start also. Okay, perfectly fine. Now this text view is completed. This whole XML file is completed. Okay, again we need to remove this extra space so that the code is optimized, and we move to another file now, that is the new menu. Menu item is completed earlier, and now we are moving towards that new menu. Okay, now we have to work on it, and then we have to add the items for this menu. So adding the items here, and the first item we have to provide the ID for it. So I am giving the ID here, and then we have to provide the title. Then we gonna use icon, and for the icon it can be taken up from the drawable. Okay, so this title is done. Again we have to add one more item here. So taken up the ID as one, then the title for this. So the title is remedy, and then the icon. So the icon is provided from the resource folder, and the resource folder, you know where it comes from, the video description link. Download it and use it. Okay, then this Android ID, and then the title about. Then we have this icon and drawable. It is outline black. Okay, so if you want the source code or getting any problem within this, then you can mail me. I have given the email ID within the video description. If you have any error or any problem regarding this project, then you can mail me. So now we are adding one more class within the Java code, within the Kotlin code actually. So it is Characterization, and this is the most important